T-Bone in the morning. Laura Styles, Rosenberg, and B.O.B. back on the program.
Bobby.
Flat Earther Bob.
Flatter.
Flatter?
I'm flattered.
You're flattered? Yo, so have you, I'm sure you've done interviews since that. I haven't talked to you since the Flat Earth saga.
I actually haven't.
You haven't done
This is
any
your first
interviews?
time out since
Yeah.
that whole thing?
Yeah.
So the Earth is flat in your mind. I mean, what's the whole deal? Explain.
Well, I think it's flat and it's round.
Whoa.
So
Depending on the
talk
day
us
of the
through
week?
it. Talk us through it. It's flat and it's round.
Like you ever like had a bowl of popcorn?
Okay.
Like if the bowl was flipped upside down.
So it's a semicircle of sorts, or a half
sphere.
Like
half
a dome.
sphere,
Yeah,
like a dome.
Yeah.
So you think we're living in something like the Truman Show, where there's like a dome over us?
No, he didn't say it's covered.
Oh,
You mean the shape, correct?
Well, yeah.
so let me ask you this: when you are on a boat and you're leaving Japan
Uh-huh.
and you go to California
Uh-huh.
from Japan on a boat,
Mm-hmm.
that's the curved part or that's the flat part?
It's you going I'll have to look at a map
Got it.
but it's like you're going around. You're going around.
You're going around the top part, but this part's flat.
Well, it's no top or bottom. It's just plain. It's just a plane. Now, I can't really say what
Proof you have.
yeah, because like, I mean,
It's secret.
to be true and not just to like really give yourself to a theory, I can only like speak on what I have found or what I can't find. So I've never been to the edge, or if there's even an edge.
Well, then that's why it's a globe, because there's no edge.
Well, I can't find any evidence. I mean, it's been like, I guess, a year since it came out. And since then, I haven't found any evidence that it's a globe.
Have you
or a
ever
sphere.
done like an expedition? Like
I've been
maybe you
wanting
went to
to.
like a pole or something?
I've been wanting
North
to.
Pole, South Pole?
I've been wanting to. But
Because we have our coworker Cass One went to Antarctica, right?
Yep.
That's right.
He went down there,
Yep.
and he definitely said that you keep going on to the other side.
You take me-
You can keep
by
going
the way,
around.
Bob, I don't even know. I just don't know if I believe you. I just feel like it sounds like such a troll. I don't believe, because I've known you for so long, bro. You're a smart guy. And it's such a crazy thought, and I never know why.
But wait now, Kyrie Irving.
He's definitely trolling. I know Kyrie's trolling too. He's trying to make a point.
I don't think he's
Wait,
trolling.
but what's the point? What is the point?
Well, they're different people. So at Kyrie's point, I believe.
Is there a point to challenging the Earth being
like
round?
why that?
I
like, of
heard
all things?
I heard what he said. Like at first I thought he was trolling until I saw his interview, and I was like, all right, he's not trolling. He's seen what
You
I've
think
seen.
really? What have you seen, bro? It's just YouTube.
I
man.
want to go. I want to go.
It's not
You want to go where?
it's
Wherever
not-
they've
it's
gone
not-
to
it's
see
not-
the
like I
thing.
really do want to go to the edge and see how far I can go.
There's no
before
But
edge.
somebody tells me.
where's the edge though? What would that be?
Like where they tell you can't go. Where they tell you can't explore. Like where
So
like
there-
however far you can go into Antarctica before they
They
Stop
get to
you.
the-
Before you
the security
die
guard-
because it's too cold?
No, the
or
security
because-
guard comes up and is like, "Not past here, you know.
Yeah. That's it. You might fall.
Not past here. This is where you fall off.
Yeah.
You be careful."
So you
son.
feel like people just pop up and they're like, far enough.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you go down there and just like nobody's there.
God, I wish
You
Cass
just-
was here.
Were you
I got
surprised?
here. This just in. Nobody's there. Because it's very cold.
Yes.
I,
Now-
wouldn't- I don't want to be there either. I mean,
Were
I
you
just wanna see it.
surprised when? Here's how I picture what happened. Bob was really high, and he was on YouTube, and he got down in the vortex, and he started learning and reading and learning, and then he just started talking about it because like it's interesting and he's stuff he's learning about. Were you surprised when people bring up the subject of flat Earth? People freak out. Were you surprised at how big a story it became?
I didn't know that people cared so much about.
I didn't either.
And I come from in my specific generation, in my year, like the moon landing was like, it was always like a joke, like haha, we didn't go to the moon, or it's like
Green
it's
screen.
like a conspiracy
yeah,
thing.
Yeah, right.
And so, we was never like really like die hard, like, man, I love the moon and space. You know what I mean? And so and I actually like when I started researching it, I really wasn't gonna like put it out there. I just wanted to keep researching it and see like this shit is crazy. You know what I mean? So when I like originally put out the picture and the internet exploded, I was like, what? I didn't know this many people cared.
Well, let
It
me
was
take you
wild
somewhere
to
else.
me, bro.
So I saw it happen, and I remember we ignored it. I was like, "That's dumb."
Yeah, we did. We
I'm not
came up in the
talking
news
about
for a few days. We're like, nah, Bob
By
ain't
the
doing
fifth
that.
day,
Nah.
but I think it was like 5 days in.
Yeah,
I
it
was
kept
like,
going.
"Hold the fuck on, man." Let me go ahead and research, and I found like a movement of people who are on this flat earther thing. So my next question for you, B.O.B, have they reached out to you to be some sort of spokesman? Because
For the
there
flat
Good
earthers?
question.
there
I
is
got a plaque. I got I got some certificates.
No,
and some
they
plaques.
didn't. They sent you some.
I told you.
Welcome.
They were like, thank you for
Welcome.
representing us.
But some certain I don't know which ones, but certain ones are like controlled opposition, kind of like.
What's
you,
that mean?
You remember in the movie Surrogate?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Surrogate, I'm about to spoil it for you.
Spoiler alert.
So cover your ears. So like the person who was rebelling against the surrogates was a surrogate himself.
He was a plant. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so it was to get everybody on his side so that they can control the opposition.
And so you believe that this flat earth thing is
certain ones, they kind of like muddy the waters to make it like super fantastical.
Well, can I
so
tell
it's
you? Well, since you're going
unbelievable.
down that path, I do believe that there is a. I don't know if it's that purposeful and like a community of people that put out these theories so that people don't want to travel. Like they don't want to go see how big the world is or how great the world is. Specifically poor people and specifically black people and specifically black males. Like I found myself at the turn.
But do they have to do that? Because poor people, they already have it set up so poor people can't afford to travel anyway.
Right, but they can though. They can. I know a lot of people who don't have money who figure out ways to travel.
This way.
Listen, when I was growing up, I was lower middle class, more on the lower side, and we traveled. If we couldn't afford to fly, we took a train, we took a bus.
Yeah, when
Took
I
a
was a
boat.
kid, we went to like Destin, Florida. That's as far.
Making a big
We would
old
go-
trip from Georgia to Florida. But Florida, Georgia line.
But that's my point is I do believe that's a thing. And I
Nah,
specifically
it is, man. I mean, it's like, and I understand how wild of a idea it is because when I first started researching it,
Well, can I take you somewhere?
I actually stumbled across it by accident.
Can I take you somewhere?
Where?
It wasn't that wild of an idea to me. I just don't believe it's true. So I actually was like, well, maybe he means it's flat like it's a quarter. And the quarter's spinning, right?
I get what you're saying.
Creating
it.
an app, making it look like a globe because it's spinning so fast.
Mhm.
But if it was to stop, it would just be a flat rock. But the spinning of it creates an atmosphere and the ocean.
All right, let's put a bow on a couple of things real quick so we can move on, talk about music.
So I
and
went
everything else.
down the path.
Well,
with
you're a
you, but
conspiracy
it still-
theorist to a certain
it
extent
still
as
didn't
well.
make
I
sense. There wasn't enough.
B.O.B.
there.
It's okay. It says here in our. And by the way, we have interns who hand us notes, and because we don't sit here trying to pick apart everything, there's a note that says you believe that the moon landing was not real. Is that a fact?
From what I've seen, I'm not convinced.
Not the first one or
We've been
any
back-
of them.
We've been back. Oh, you know what's crazy?
Yes,
you,
we've
have
been
you, have you
back.
seen?
B.O.B.,
Have you seen?
we've
Have you
been-
seen the Japanese moon landing?
I
No,
haven't seen that one.
No.
Y'all gotta see the Japanese moon landing.
Why? Because it's really
Why?
bootleg.
It's hilarious.
Does it not seem real?
It seems more fake than the first moon landing.
Than the U.S. one,
Yeah,
than Armstrong.
yeah.
And by the way, I went down that path too because there was a race. The first people to get to the moon, all the countries was racing for it. So to convince the population that we did it and to give that hope, they produced one in Hollywood. I went down that, but we've been back since then. So even if it was fake, yes, we've been back since then. B.O.B.
Have y'all heard the Stanley Kubrick theory?
No, what's his
Kubrick.
theory?
Stanley
What's,
Kubrick.
What's his Stanley Kubrick theory?
You have to listen to the song called Stanley Kubrick on the Elements mixtape. It's a song called Stanley Kubrick.
And this is your mixtape.
It's my mixtape on iTunes, but it's a theory that Stanley Kubrick shot the moon landing and he put the clues in the movie The Shining.
Whoa. See, by the way, though, here's what I love about B.O.B. I was worried that when we saw him, when you hear, this is our own stigma, Bob. when you hear that someone's like that, yo, they think the Earth's flat. I was like, oh man, I always liked Bob. Might have just completely lost it. I love that you're up here still laughing about it. Like, if you gotten up here and been
Wait,
staring,
I don't have my tinfoil hat on.
exactly.
I
Like,
thought I was gonna.
I was worried. You never know how these stories play out. Yo, celebrities go crazy. You had a lot of big hits, man. You never know what's gonna happen. You reach a certain level,
And then you broke up with 7. Y'all was that was a
yeah,
wrap.
you have a
We thought
celebrity
maybe it was-
relationship. You never
I
know.
was just jumping out the window.
And you tweeted yesterday. This is brand new news. Good
All
job,
right.
interns.
New news.
They CNN posted yesterday a big story that now 2 tourists are supposedly going to pay to be able to take a trip around the moon next year. And Bob tweeted at CNN, "Sounds exciting. I can't wait to see the video footage." Trolling CNN. Another fake story. You believe. More fake news.
You should have said alternative facts.
that was a troll. I was kind of bored. You know?
Okay. All
I
right.
felt like trolling.
So do you believe that
So-
because they're saying there's preparations already underway, the Elon Musks of the world and the Richard Bransons of the world are making it easier for people to travel to the moon or Mars or want to moon, live on the
heard
space
both.
station, whatever it is, all the above, and they're literally right now doing construction on space stations and putting things together so that people could travel there and live there for long periods of time. You just got to be able to afford to pay for it. My first reaction was, okay, these rich people is up out of here. They leaving these poor people behind. Get your bread up because they know something's about to happen. You better get your bread up and be able to move back and forth in any way you can. Because if the rich people is moving out, pay attention.
I'm finna move into the mansions that they leave behind.
Right, for as long as we can have them before it blows up or something.
But so
do you believe that's even a thing? Like, that's a possible thing?
Now, okay, let's just run along with the theory that it is flat, and you know some people feel like it's enclosed inside of a dome, but if it isn't, maybe there's more land that's you know, they just discovered this new continent called Zealandia or something. Y'all didn't hear that?
They discovered a new continent on Earth?
Yeah, they discovered a new land.
Mass?
an island?
It's like it's like in the Pacific or something, like near Australia and New Zealand. It's called like Zealandia or something, Zealand or something. Not
no,
Zealand.
there's
New
New Zealand. New
Zealander?
I mean, New
Zealand's
Zealand
been
not,
there.
exists.
not New Ze- It's like Zealandia or something fantastical, like a real.
Are you Googling?
I'm Googling right now.
Fine.
And do you think this is an island or a continent?
I don't know. I mean, I guess like they said they discovered it, but who knows? Like they could have always knew about it, and they were just like, all right, let's open it.
Well, the first thing
Oh, there you go. No. You know what, guys? This just in. B.O.B. is not talking out of his ass. Meet Zealandia, Earth's latest continent. This is on CNN.
well,
New Zealand might be Australia's smaller neighbor, but it's sitting on a massive new continent scientists have named Zealandia, according to a publication released by the Geological Society of America. New Zealand and Australia might be able to finally give each other more breathing room. It turns out they sit on separate continents. Very interesting.
so
Told y'all Bob was onto some shit.
So it's a new continent because New Zealand was a part of Australia as a continent, but because they sit on whatever determines a continent, they're calling it a new continent, is what you're saying.
yeah, I mean, so
Well,
so
because that's the way
they
that's
discovered.
Because it says here the classification of a block continental rock largely submerged underwater.
Okay.
Guys, so the
That's-
water's
yeah,
on
so
top,
it's
and then the
water.
islands
Yeah,
on
yeah,
top.
yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Well,
Okay.
you guys, that's how most islands and continents work. You do know that, right?
No, I don't know any of that. So
That most of it's submerged underwater, and then we're okay.
Well, you know,
We don't know.
Well, you know, I mean, the whole point of it all is that you know we should never feel like we've discovered everything, and
or that we know everything.
or that we know everything. So even me, with my theories, I don't feel like my theories are absolute or what I believe is absolute. I'm still like looking up stuff. Like, man, you know, I'm trying, and not necessarily to go deeper, but just really to not know anything. You know, the master must be the student as well. You know what I mean? You have to have an empty cup to be able to learn new knowledge. You have to pour out your cup so to receive more.
And for the people out there that are going to research the new continent, on Snopes, which makes its business to like debunk craziness. A recent paper creates the first detailed argument in favor of considering the submerged land surrounding and including New Zealand to be Earth's eighth continent. So it's New Zealand, They are
It's-
saying
right,
the
right.
land under New Zealand should be separate from Australia. So it's not new. It's a new
It's a
conversation
new discovery.
that scientists are having.
Yo, Ebro, chill, man. We're just
Sorry.
trying to have some fun.
Sorry, man.
All right, Bob. So, what else is going on, man? You got a new project right now, or you're working on a studio album? You said.
Yeah, working on the studio album. This is like it's. I would compare it to the likes of the Elements because the Elements mixtapes were all produced by me, no outside influence, no A&R, no label, just
No aliens from outer space because
No.
we don't even know if that's real.
We don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Were his mixtapes real?
Were
We
they?
don't know.
Did he
don't even
produce
know.
them? We don't know.
Right.
Did I really put them out? Did someone implant the memories
That's what I'm
into
saying.
your mind?
I
Like,
don't know. I don't know.
We don't
Is he a real
know.
person? Did Bobby Ray ever exist? What was that? Did that even happen?
I watch too much Black Mirror, man. Y'all watch that show, Black Mirror?
I heard
Yes.
about
Yo,
it. I
Black
never
Mirror
got
is
into
tight.
it.
You must
Never-
love
Yeah.
that shit.
I love
It's
it.
so weird.
Yo, Bob's high, man. Bob's in a mansion high watching Black Mirror. That's what's happening.